Starting off, we have Giants are trash. Pretty blatant there. He says Jalen Hurts will not be the Eagles quarterback next season. Currently, it's up to 5,600 points. He put 800 on it, so I will send him 800 points.
Man, this is a tricky one. Although the reason why I don't imagine there's too many replacements out there possible. I don't know. Like Philly, I guess could trade for another QB, but
right.
I don't know. I feel like it's a wait and see sort of deal with Philadelphia right now.
Yeah, I think they can look for a replacement, and they do have 3 first-round picks, 15, 16, 19. So you can, like, I guess use one of them on a quarterback. Thanks, Dad. They could use one on the quarterback position. I guess I have 2 trains of thought here because I really like Jalen Hurts. He is a tremendous leader in the locker room. Like all of the intangibles, if you're talking about off the field stuff, Jalen Hurts checks every box imaginable. He is incredibly smart. He is incredibly driven. He is incredibly like the same words you'd use to describe Brady.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way. I'll put it that way. Like determination, winner, champion. He won a title at Alabama. Was it 2 titles? I guess it was just the 1 title at Alabama. Like he fits all those criteria. The issues are on the football field that he is a classic 1-read quarterback, and when that first read isn't there, if Devontae Smith doesn't scream open, and he kind of falls into that Tua mold that he needs guys to be Alabama open as opposed to NFL open. Like Drew Lock is kind of like this as well, that I don't think Hurts plays with great anticipation. He has to see a guy come open. And like a guy like Stafford can throw it to a spot and have Cooper Kupp be there, Odell be there, Robert Woods be
Doesn't
there.
Doesn't even have to look, as we saw in the Super Bowl.
That's true. But Hurts has to see a guy come open. And that's an issue. I agree. And I think there's a ceiling on what Hurts can do as a passer. But I also know that there are few people in the NFL that work as hard as Jalen Hurts does. And I would not be surprised if he takes another step next year. And if right now you're ranking quarterbacks and he's 18, I don't know, between like 16 and 20, like he's a starter, but you don't love him as your starter. It's kind of in that Jameis tier, Wentz tier, maybe a little lower than Tannehill. Tua is maybe like higher 20s. I think Jalen Hurts maybe not easily, but I would not be surprised if Hurts makes a step from, I don't know, the 18th best quarterback to the 12th best quarterback. And if he gets into that Carr, Cousins, Dak tier, like I wouldn't be surprised. I think he has shown a lot of development over the last few years. And I would be surprised if the Eagles moved on. Now, at the same time, they do have 3 first-round picks. So you can say, hey, well, we're kind of playing with house money here. So if you draft a guy at 15 and 16 on your defense, or you grab another wide receiver or whatever, and then at 19 you say, let's throw a dart at Carson Strong. Let's throw a dart at Malik Willis. Let's throw a dart at Sam Howell. Or maybe you trade down and get no one in that range other than Pittsburgh wants a quarterback.
Here's a theory. Do you think maybe because the Rams just proved that going all in works, do you think maybe Philadelphia uses some of those picks as like ammo in a trade or something?
Okay. Gun to my head, if you set the over under at how many picks the Eagles make, I would take under 2.5 in the first round. Okay. I think they will trade one of them, whether that's for an established guy. Like I've mocked a Calvin Ridley trade to them several times. Like just trade pick 19 for Ridley straight up. You can use that ammo to trade up and go get a Kyle Hamilton or a Tyler Linderbaum. Like, oh my goodness, I am having wet dreams thinking. I made you think. Yeah, here. From the transition from Jason Kelce to Tyler Linderbaum is essentially Favre to Rodgers. That as far as it is Favre to Rodgers. That holy Christmas.
Because I'm just thinking, like, wow. Now that the NFL is like such a huge copycat league, and now that one team has proven you can go all in and get a Lombardi out of it, other teams might start following suit. You might start seeing more like, I'm not saying every team is immediately going to, like the Eagles especially are not going to become a super team in the blink of an eye. But
although they did once in 2017.
They did.
Everything worked out somehow, some way. Like right there.
Yeah.
I think there is some value there.
Yeah. So I'm just curious because maybe they might, now that they have like 3 first-round picks, there's a couple that they can mess with. So
yeah, and I think whether that's messing with and trading them for a quarterback, or messing with them and using it on a quarterback, or using it on a third wide receiver, because I've heard people say, "Oh, it's bad practice to spend spend a pick on the same position group 3 years in a row." Sure, if you're anywhere other than the Eagles, it's not like the Eagles have 1 first-round pick and they spent 3 straight first-round picks on receivers. They have a bunch of first-round picks this year. They have 3, and they made the playoffs. So this is a team that already has shown they can make the playoffs. They can win enough games to make the playoffs. They are, I think, like the 16th best team in the NFL. There were a couple of teams like take Chargers, Ravens, Saints. I think if you restarted the season, they'd probably be better than the Eagles. Like if you started the season right now, I think they'd be better than the Eagles.
Sure.
But the Eagles are a solid football team, and I really like their floor that they have with the rushing attack with Hurts and Sanders and co. And I think they have a good offensive line, and they could be a sneaky. I don't think Kelsey retires this offseason. Might look at it next year. Lane Johnson's still there. Jordan Mailata was a revelation. That is freaking Howie. What's his name? Howie. Why can't I'm blanking on it. Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman had the deal of the season getting Jordan Mailata on a cheap contract. He's a top 10 tackle, top 5, top 8 tackle in the league. And that's incredible value. He is every bit as good as take Andrew Whitworth, right? I think he's in the same tier of tackle as Andrew Whitworth. And granted, Whitworth is like 42, but same tier of tackle as Andrew Whitworth, same tier of tackle as not quite that Smith, Williams, Stanley, Bakhtiari, but Mailata is in that second tier. He's like the Jack Conklin, Taylor Lewan, Armstead. He's been injured all the time. Like he's a really good tackle, and they got a bargain of a deal on that one. So Eagles could be scary. Eagles could be scary.
Eagles,
I would not move off Hurts though.
I think it's a good story that they had last season, that they made the playoffs out of like seemingly nowhere pretty much, and now they have something to build on. So we'll see what they do.
Absolutely.